Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay.
Titania. All right. It's Titania Jordan.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Connect. I'm so excited to be here with Khadijah Diggs. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
And you do a lot, like a lot. You are a mother of 10 children.
Yes.
10 children. Just processing that right now. And you're a project manager for Southern Company.
Yes.
And you're a triathlete.
Yes.
And so I don't know when you sleep, if you sleep, but how in the world do you manage all of that and are still alive today?
The project management helps. Just how I plan my day at work. I plan my life, my training, my activities with my children. I set out a training schedule well in advance and I follow it. And I also recognize I'm not superhuman. If I miss a day or I'm a little bit tired, I've just missed a day and I'm a little bit tired. So that's how I do it. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that triathlon is my passion. So when I'm training, it's not work to me. I'm enjoying myself, I'm relaxing, I'm thinking about the things that are meaningful to me.
That's amazing. I wish that running, bicycling, and swimming were relaxing for me. Swimming, yes, yeah. But running, it's just, man, it's hard. It's hard for me. Maybe I need to get my breathing right or get some tips for you after. But yeah, the most I've ever been able to do is 6 miles. But let's go back to the 10 children, project manager by day, and then triathlete. Mm-hmm. You told me you do your training during the weekdays at night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just to be really real with you right now, I get home and it's 5, 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. It is all I can do to get to 9 or 10.
Yes.
But you re-up.
Yes.
And you don't drink caffeine.
No. No.
I mean, how?
Well, when we get home, the kids know the routine. We have dinner, go over if there are any notifications from school, look at homework, make sure we have our outfits out for the next day. The younger children, I make sure they're in bed, maybe 20, 30 minutes of TV. And by 8:30, I'm fortunate, I have a simulator at home, so I do a lot of cycling on a simulator at home. I do a lot of running during the week on a treadmill. And I go to the pool twice a week. I usually get kicked out of the pool because I'm the last one to leave at about 11 o'clock. So, yeah, it's and some days it is grueling, but like I said, it's my passion. It doesn't feel like work. Swimming was something I always did with my father. So when I'm swimming, I'm thinking about those times with my father. Cycling, I never owned a bike before I did triathlon, but I love it. It's just when I'm on my bike, I'm always smiling, even when I'm in pain. And my best friend is actually a professional runner. So running is like the weakest, the toughest part for me. But she runs a lot with me, she coaches me, so it's a camaraderie that I feel with the running.
That's so true. Whenever I'm running by myself, it's just like, kill me now. But when I'm running with somebody else, you kind of forget about it. It's fun, it's a race, you take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
So much of it is mind over matter.
Yes.
I heard a really cool man, Jesse Itzler, who wrote this great book about living like a SEAL, mm-hmm. training like a SEAL. But it's, when you think you have nothing left, you still have at least 10%.
Yes.
And you've got to push yourself and get outside of yourself. So
exactly.
I try to think about that. You are above and beyond a triathlete. You are, I want to get this right, a 2017 member of Team USA for long course triathlon.
Yes.
Got that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're like, here are triathletes, and then you're, part of Team USA, y'all, okay? Hence the apparel. And what is this right here that you have?
So I brought, a lot of people ask me about my kits. I am Muslim, and I've worked with USAT and my sponsors to make kits that cover me from all the way from my hand all the way down to my ankles. So I brought some of the kits that I wear.
Nice.
This is the kit that my sponsor, Tri Sports, helped me make.
Wow.
And very aerodynamic, very cool. A lot of people ask me, well, aren't you hot? Well, some of this material is so cooling that it wicks so hard that when I stop, I have to get it off because I'm cold.
Wow.
Yeah, and
wow.
This is the kit that was made by Roca. They were the sponsor for Team USA this year. And they put my primary sponsors on my kit, Tri Sports, ComfortZone.net, and House of Smoothies. And once again, it's made from that same wicking material. And you can even feel it now. It's cold.
Wow.
It's
nice.
cold.
I need to sleep in that.
Yeah. So I was really excited about that because it allowed me to help set a standard so that any woman, whether she be Muslim or not, if you want a race covered, there's a legal outfit. You won't be penalized for not having the proper gear on. So that was almost as exciting as making the team. So that was a big deal for me.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that and for, being the first to kind of forge that path. Because I know that your mission is to promote a positive image of Muslim women and Islam in general through triathlon.
Yes.
That's your platform.
Yeah.
I think you're doing an excellent job of it.
Thank you. And I think a lot of people realize we're more the same than different. And I've met people who've never met a Muslim woman in person, and they're like, "Oh, you're funny," or "Oh, yeah, I'm kind of just like you."
Yeah, I'm a human.
Yeah, so it's been a great experience, and I've met people that I never would have met otherwise. I've gone places I never would have gone otherwise. I never would have gone to British Columbia, Canada for any reason, but I had an amazing time, met amazing people. So
wow. So let's dive into that a little bit more because my circle of friends and colleagues, I actually don't think there is a Muslim woman or man in that circle, which is unfortunate because then I don't get a chance to interact and learn and that sort of thing. So I guess on behalf of somebody who could be completely ignorant about what you experience on a daily basis, inform me. What are some of the things that you encounter that you're like, are you kidding me right now?
So I think a lot of people automatically assume that I'm not from the United States. I was born in Camden, New Jersey. And a lot of people assume that I'm super religious. And I am to a certain extent, I guess a little bit more than average. But Muslims come in all shapes, sizes, and colors just like everyone else. You have some that are extremely religious, some that are pretty just, I pray 5 times a day, I try to do the right thing like myself, and then some who just show up during Ramadan. So we all come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and I think people should realize that. And then a lot of people should realize that the largest percentage of Muslims in the United States are actually American born. The vast majority are African Americans born in this country. And we have the same hopes and dreams for ourselves and our children that everyone else has. So.
And can we go into like what it means to be a Muslim? I'm a Christian. I grew up Christian. I have members of my family who are Jewish, so I have influences of Judaism as well. But besides taking a world religions class, in 8th grade, I don't have experience.
So I think that the tenets of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, I think are very close, other than the fact that Christianity, they believe that the last prophet of God was Jesus, of course, and Muslims believe that the last prophet of God was Muhammad. And one of the things that drew me to Islam, I was not born Muslim, I became Muslim when I was 19, so it was a long time ago, but that in the first chapter, and I think a lot of people don't focus on this, it clearly says whether you be Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or Sabian, and Sabianism is a dead religion. I don't know that there's anybody that practices that religion anymore. They'll all be saved as long as they follow their book. And to me, that opened up my heart because it was the first time someone said, you don't have to believe exactly what I believe, just believe in the Creator, and you're fine. Whereas when I went to church with my mother, it was always, you have to believe what I believe. My neighbors, we actually lived, I think it was 2 doors up from a rabbi. He felt like you had to believe what he believed. And I just felt so, it closed me to religion. When I read this, that, oh, okay, this is how it should be. And even there are some Muslims who believe, well, if you don't believe what we believe, you won't be saved. I can't relate to that. I believe what's in the Quran, and that's it. I don't go beyond that. I can't get with other people's opinions. I read what's in that book, and that's what I try to live by.
What are some of the practices you mentioned? Praying 5 times a day.
Yes. Yeah.
It's proper protocol to only have your hands and face exposed.
Yeah, hands, face, and feet.
Hands, face, and feet. What about dietary?
I don't eat pork. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I know there are some Muslims who smoke, but it's kind of frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to eat healthy, just like, you know.
Yeah, which benefits you
Yeah.
in other ways too.
Yeah, to fast during the month of Ramadan. As a practice for myself, it's not required, but I try to fast in the middle of each month, just as a reminder to myself. And I try to read a little bit of the Quran at least every day. So those are the things that I do for myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's so nice to be able to have just a very disarming dialogue because, you know, I'm very curious about people in all aspects of their lives, professional, personal, relational, and just thank you for being so open and sharing that little bit.
I think it's important.
I think it is too. I want to be able to connect, hence the name of the show, but all jokes aside, with people from all walks of life and shine a light on what they're doing and the impact they're making in the world and give you a platform to do that, to share with everybody, hey, this is what I do, this is my story, this is where I'm making an impact, and this is why I'm awesome. So, yeah, you're definitely awesome.
No, thank you.
I really can't get over what you manage on a daily and weekly basis, both, you know, logistics, physical. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of discipline, and project management.
Yeah.
So I know that at Southern Company, there are systems, tools, and processes in place.
Yes.
How do you translate that to your everyday life? Like, what do you use to be organized just with every day?
I use a software application called Training Peaks.
Okay.
So I put all of my training in there, and it monitors what I've done, the paces that I've run, how many miles I've gone, and it gives you something called the fatigue level. So I manage my fatigue level that way. I have a home to-do list that never gets done, but I just keep recycling it.
Is that on an app or handwritten?
No,
or?
that's just on a tablet I keep on my bed. So if I wake up in the middle of the night and realize, oh, I needed to do that, I'll just write it down and then go back to sleep.
So an actual paper tablet,
Yeah.
not like an iPad.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so because I want to get like a download of like
Yeah.
how you manage it all, because it has to be very
Yeah,
organized.
it's regimented in a way, but I try to have fun with it. Like Wednesdays, I know the kids know that I'm doing my speed work in the track. So what we try to do is get Wednesday's homework done in advance on Tuesdays, and the teachers kind of know that, oh, we'll give them their homework in advance because they like to run around the track while I'm doing my speed work. So that's
great.
a family thing right there. And then on the weekends, I do my training as early as I can possibly get up so that I have the afternoons to hang out with them and do what they need. My youngest two are into yoga, so we go to yoga classes.
That is so cool.
None of my kids are into sports. They're all into music and art. So
Which is great.
yeah, they play their instruments. We go to recitals and that's
I
it.
love that. I love that. I'm signing my son up for drum lessons
Okay,
this
wow.
week, so it's loud, yay! But I'm like they all are.
Yeah, I have 2 violin players, a cello player, a guitar player, keyboards. So yeah, it gets kind of loud.
What's the youngest and what's the oldest?
I have 2 7-year-olds and then I have 2 25-year-olds.
Wow, twins?
No. One's biological and the other's adopted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool to have that insight into the next generation.
Yeah. And they help sometimes. They come and tell their younger brother, don't do this. Mom's going to get you, don't do this.
They know.
Yeah.
They know.
And they give them good advice. You know, I made this mistake, don't make that same mistake. So.
They've paved the way for the younger to have it easier.
It's beautiful to see how they interact with each other. Yeah.
So how did you get into project management?
My degrees are in engineering.
Nice.
When I graduated, I went to work at Delta. I worked at the Tech Ops Center.
Wow.
And a lot of what I was doing, I worked to automate a lot of what I was doing because we were constantly looking at the same problems.
So smart.
And I enjoyed actually migrating things to technology even more than I liked doing the engineering. So I quit my job and took a job, I actually even took a pay cut to work as a business analyst at another company. And then I worked on getting my project management certification, and it just kind of went from there.
It's great.
Yeah,
And
I missed the engineering part of it, but I do think project management was the right path for me.
Good. I love it. I love it when people realize, all right, I need to hard stop this and pursue a different path. It's because life is short. You have to
exactly.
You have to get it. You have to get after it.
Yeah.
What would you say is what keeps you going? You obviously have this inner drive, and again, no caffeine. So, what keeps you inspired? What keeps you motivated? What helps you get out of bed on those mornings that it's cold, or those afternoons where it's hot?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know I have goals in mind. My driving goal for the past 3 years had been to make the U.S. team.
Congrats.
Thank you. And now that I was like a deer in headlights at the entire event, I just couldn't believe that, and they have teams from every age range. So I saw people from the age of 18 all the way up to, I think the oldest competitor was 80 in the Grandmasters division. My goal now is one day I want to go back and win my division. So I'd like to do that. My immediate goals, I want to do really well. I want to make the podium at nationals in the next couple of years. Longer term, I want to qualify for Kona. So those are my longer term goals. And like I said, I just love it. Even if I wasn't fast enough to qualify for some of these events, I would still be out there. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great. And how old were you when you first did your first triathlon?
I was 40.
No way!
Yeah, I was already 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
It is never, ever, ever too late.
It's too late when you're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
40's the new 20.
Yeah.
My uncle actually started medical school at 40.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's great.
Yeah, and nobody's ever laid on their deathbed and said they wish they hadn't tried something.
Yes.
So I don't see that as a deterrent, your age or where you come from or how much money you make. Because I mean, technically, I can't afford this sport, but it's always, something has always happened to allow me to continue.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So since we have this platform, people watching from all over the world, since this is YouTube, and we'll be sharing it on social, etc. You know, what would you like to say to people watching? What sort of message would you like to leave with them?
Don't let anybody ever tell you that your dreams are silly. My mantra is never give up on yourself. Giving up on yourself allows other people to give up on you, and you can't do that. And don't be afraid to be first. There's nothing wrong with being first. Just because nobody who looks like you or came from where you came from has done something doesn't mean that you can't do it.
It's great advice. Khadijah Diggs, thank you so much
Thanks for having me.
for being here. And if people want to follow along with your journey, are you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn? Do you put it out there or you don't?
No, I do.
Okay.
I'm kind of limited on Instagram and Twitter. I have social media issues. I get too.
No, I have deleted and I get it.
But I do have a Facebook page that I remain very active with. If you type in Khadijah Diggs triathlete or Trigammalete,
Uh-huh.
Trigammalete.
Uh-huh.
You can find me on Facebook. I post my races, all my race pictures, some of my training days. You'll see they aren't all good.
That's okay. It's
And
authentic.
just things that I'm excited about, things from my sponsors out there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we will post this facebook.com/trigammalete.
Yes.
So we can follow along with your journeys, and you're such an inspiration. Thank you for what you do and for being on our show today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.